It's time for another episode of the Tech Informist. Welcome to episode 42, recorded Monday, March the 9th, 2015. My name is Kevin Harvell. I'm also joined by JJ Hammond. JJ, how are you?
Hello, my good friend, and hello, all of our listeners. That
Yes.
was that was straight in the face of Alejandro Ramirez, just because of our contrast and the different approaches we take to our hellos to everyone at the very beginning of the show.
Oh,
But
yes.
Mondays is quote Mondays, so my quote for this Monday is: "The true voyage of discovery lies not in seeking new landscapes, but having new eyes to see the same landscapes." Boom.
Words of Wisdom by JJ Hammond. All right.
Volume 1 of,
Yes.
of landscapes.
All right, moving on. Everybody, welcome to the Tech Informist. Everybody, thank you for joining us in the chat room. It looks like it's filling up quickly here.
Oh
Glad to
yeah.
have everybody. So today is a big day. Apple is going to have their spring forward event. Hopefully everybody forwarded their clocks for daylight savings time yesterday, and that loss of hour of sleep, everybody. Hopefully it's not affecting you all too much. So ways that you can get involved in the Tech Informist is you can watch live and also participate in our live chat room, which I just referred to, by visiting thetechinformist.com/live. Follow us and get involved with us on Twitter as well. Just follow at Tech Informist. If you like Facebook more, come on over to the Facebook page. Come on over to Google Plus if you actually use Google Plus, which many people really do, but for some strange reason, not a lot of people want to.
Right.
If you have any content, feedback, suggestions, anything that you would like to talk about, if you have an app you would like to promote, email that to us at contact@thetechinformist.com. So it's
Plus, hold on, wait, real quick.
plus.
Plus. You can help us more so Kevin than me, but you can help Kevin and I by going to the site and becoming an all-star like Rawl in our chat room, and supporting the show in one way or another, not just listening, but actually handing over some of your hard-earned money that we do not take for granted, and we have so much awesome vibes going out to Raw for that, and the others who have done that. So
Yes.
okay.
Yes, it helps cover expenses, and it helps get us, as it accumulates, we can get nicer equipment, so we can, sound better. Just makes the show a much more wonderful experience than we feel it already is. And
Yeah.
based on feedback we get, a lot of people like it. A lot of people are listening, but we want to hear from everybody that listens. So if you're one of the hundreds and hundreds of people that that listen to the show or watch after the fact, let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like to see us talk about, or we're open for story suggestions. I mean, we find things that we think are interesting to us to talk about with you, and we want to know what you guys want us to talk about. So interact. We would love to hear from you.
All right, let's get into the news. I'm ready to do this, man. We got a great show for you guys.
Yes, it's a great show, and this one's a little bit different because everybody that's watching live, we're going to be recording our episode of the Tech Informist first, and then we're also going to have a special episode immediately following this, where we're going to be live covering the Apple event from today. Spring forward, folks. Apple Watch time. So, time to move into the news of the week, and the first story I will lead off today on Monday is Lockheed Martin has created a laser that will destroy a truck, or probably nearly anything else, from approximately 1 mile away. Now, this is pretty interesting. It's from Popular Science, popsci.com.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they say lasers versus trucks. The future of war is a Transformers movie. So this is kind of like a real life kind of thing here. Uh, they have released, this is directed energy. So obviously it's a laser. For anybody that's used just a laser pointer, and even just one that you spend $5-10 at the store, if you live in a subdivision, you shine a laser at someone else's house from a few streets away, and you can still see it. It's like, imagine having something like this that can actually do damage. That's just crazy.
I need a lower powered version of this to shoot it at people's behinds that walk through my yard.
Just that would be funny. Okay, so Lockheed Martin released some images and I guess possibly even video today about their test for what they're calling the acronym is Athena, and that is for Advanced Test High Energy Asset. While it's named after the Greek goddess of wisdom, Ares would be a more appropriate name as it's an explicit weapon of war. And from a mile away, Athena burned through the engine of a truck in under 1 minute. They had the truck mounted on a platform with the engine running to simulate real conditions
Hmm.
and real in every detail because trucks with weapons mounted in the back are an increasingly common part of the war and known as technicals. They're used by militias the world over. They're popular with ISIS. Sudan's state-owned military industry corporation even specifically produces them. So this is just another weapon in the ever-changing world of warfare. It's very interesting to see this. It's obviously like they say it's cheaper than bullets because once it's created, it's not much else to do except maintain it.
Yeah, it's scary, right? I was many of you may not know this, but when you drive down highways now and you see like these interesting looking things that are on the like when you're getting off, let's say of a major highway and the cloverleaf type deal and merging onto another highway or whatever. When you do that, there's this pole with these cameras and other looking sensor things that are pointing down at the cars. And what those are is some of them are X-ray machines, some of them are scanners, some of them are reading license plates, and some of them are detecting if you're wearing your seatbelt or not, how fast you're going, and they track all that stuff. Well, we could possibly see this being the new version of spike strips. Kevin, I know you're familiar with that. I gotta be honest with all of you guys. I am totally guilty of watching those the high-speed chase things. Like when True TV has a compilation of those things, I just love watching them because everybody thinks they're going to get away, but they never do. And they always hit the spike strips, and then they keep going, and their wheels are hitting the rims, and it spikes everywhere. So we could see this as being the new like road spikes, right? Like we could see this as being a way to shut down a car, especially in like LA, for example. I mean, you always see traffic chases and that out there. So that's interesting, right? I mean,
Hmm.
being able to hit that maybe from the sky. I know that there's a way to shut down cars' batteries and stuff with helicopters. They actually have that technology now. But if you had a laser and you were just like zzz, right down through the engine, you ain't going nowhere, son. You're done. Um, I think that could help a lot of the times. So.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. It'd be a great use case for just general stuff.
Until they get a little crazy and they're like, you have unpaid parking tickets, and then you drive off the highway and all of a sudden you're like, what's that smell? It's your car. It's on fire.
Yeah.
We're shutting you down. All right. Watch out, Apple. Microsoft Band is coming to 765 Best Buy stores. Now, Vernon, my partner in crime on the MS Mobile Show, .com, plug. All of you should go check out that site as well as our shows. We're gaining momentum, believe it or not, and it's great. Anyways, so I have a band. Kevin has a band. Everybody should have a band. I don't care if you don't even like it. Just go out and buy one. It'll show your support. But there are Microsoft was surprised when they made the Microsoft Band because not every employee even knew it was coming out. The other surprise was that, from what we hear through stories, is that the executives were the ones who pushed this thing, not just the normal people that work there, which is insane. And hopefully this is a Satya Nadella thing. But anyway, so Microsoft may or may not have intended for their first hurrah of the health and fitness to be a hit because the Microsoft Band works on iPhone, Android, and Windows Phone. That is awesome, right? Well, they sold out really fast because they only made a certain amount because they didn't know how many they were going to sell. It was more of like a proof of design concept, kind of like the first Surface. Now Windows Central has confirmed that 765 Best Buy stores will be carrying the Microsoft Band sometime this month. Now that's amazing and great because I think that's going to put it on par with the Android selection, more so Samsung's that type of thing. But I think it's a really good example of how Microsoft is trying to step up in the mobile market. Best Buy stores are positioning the device in their increasingly extensive smartwatch display area with a live demo for customers to interact with before buying. If you've been to a Microsoft store, you know what the awesome experience is like when they actually give a crap and they promote something right there instead of just in a corner of some Best Buy or whatever. They're actually going to have like a nice demo to show you what it can do. Now, it's been hard to find up until this point, and now that they're going to have them in the Best Buy stores, and now they're coming back online for those who subscribe by email to get a new one in the mail. The launch in the middle of the night during the 2014 World Series with no media event was pretty crazy, but now it seems like they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're totally behind this. I love this. This is great. This is awesome. It's $199 as opposed to the $349 starting price for the Apple Watch, and in my opinion, I think it's more of a realistic use case scenario that's going to get more, you're going to get more out of it instead of the proposed not so much time that you're going to get out of the 2.5 hours or whatever we're going to hear this afternoon from the Apple Watch. Kevin, what do you have to say about this?
I think I mean, it was been rumored back, whenever they first launched the band that, after the holiday season is over, you can expect to see these start showing up in Best Buy retail locations. And it's kind of taken much longer than expected. Not really sure why the production lapse, why it's kind of taken so long, but it's finally going to happen. So I guess maybe they've just been accumulating units, is why they haven't had it available for so long in the Microsoft Store website and even in store. So is to get ready for this retail launch, in the Best Buy
Mm-hmm.
locations. So I mean, the more people that can have a band, the better. It is a great device.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I mean, even with these last updates, great
Oh,
updates, that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. These last updates is like, oh,
Yeah.
it's where I want it. It's how I like it. Kevin, save me, brother, save me. Let's go. What's the next
All
story?
right. Let's see. Next thing on the list is Goodyear has a new concept tire that will help power your electric car. So, not sure how many listeners currently driving Priuses or Chevy Volts or maybe even a Tesla. You never know. But they're going to be working on some tire technology that might help translate into charging your car while driving or charging your car while it's sitting on a hot parking lot, just generating the heat. Let's see. This new concept tire they unveiled at the Geneva International Auto Show this week, and they report that it can convert the heat it accumulates into energy that can power your electric car. The tire is called the BH03, and it looks like the craziest tire you've ever seen. Goodyear plans to collect heat into the tire in a number of ways. First is perhaps the most simplest. These black patches that you'll be able to see in this story from The Verge that is on the tire surface will absorb heat from the sun, especially when you leave your car in the hot parking lot, as I mentioned previously. The tire will also heat up from the effects of friction as you drive down the road. The heat generated from the tire as it flexes will also be collected. And of course, this is just a concept for now, and Goodyear's being fairly vague about the technology. You'll just have to see what happens with this. But I think it's kind of interesting, and they've got a little video here from Goodyear on the website, which we'll be linking to as well in the stories. It's interesting, and it could be something that is
Yeah,
realistic, and it
yeah.
makes sense because if you're somebody that's driving hundreds of miles a day,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
why
definitely.
not, you know, kind of be generating your own electricity as you're driving? It's just another way of helping out. So I think it's
Why do
kind
I
of
have
neat.
this story pulled up twice? That doesn't make any sense. So one of the things that I want to say about this is so many of you know I'm a little bit of a geek, just a little bit, and we're driving down the road, my wife and I looked over at her and I go, I wonder why there's not more like fans, like small wind turbine type fans on cars, because we hit some pretty mad crazy, well, maybe we shouldn't, but we're hitting some serious speed, and if we had a little turbine that was capturing the wind and kind of spinning, aside from taking us up into the air like a flying car or anything, what I'm talking about is like actually using the wind to create power,
Yeah.
right? And why couldn't that be? So when I think about all the different scenarios where and don't run. You know what? Actually, yeah, go crazy. I don't care. Have a have solar powered. Like a solar panel on the front of the car, the back of the car, the top, or whatever, on the sides of the car, or like where the rear view mirrors are on the left and right side, have the turbines for the wind, to catch the wind and use that for a battery, and then have your tires. I mean, I got to think that all of those things would really generate some serious go. So if you take that one step further and you're just like you're trying to solve the problem of bigger vehicles needing more power, if you had all of those things working in tandem with each other, I would think that that would help out a lot. Now, what I'd really like to have is with the thing that I just described, and then a vehicle like the very first Shelby Mustang or the very first Camaro, where it has no computers whatsoever. It's like completely just, um, you know, not technical. I want both ends of the spectrum. That's what I eventually want someday. So I just wanted to say that about this story. I think it's really neat, and I think that I think that innovation in this space, really we need to champion this stuff on, and then when it comes out we need to do our best to buy it. But speaking of money and everything, one of the stories that I have that I think all of you might enjoy, if you like understanding how money makes the world go around. CEO of NetSuite, Zach Nelson, sits down and discusses cloud security and China's potential, and then the different tech bubbles that are about to pop in the current market system that we have. Now, NetSuite Inc. CEO Zach Nelson. This story comes to us via the International Business Times. Now, they're not on point with everything, but with it when they are, they're really good. His company sells business software through the cloud, has sales growth of 27% annually since 2009, and since then his company has appreciated 585%. Now, that's astonishing. Now, what he's talking about, and that's compared to 300% year over year for Apple. So he's, this company's done, as far as being able to. Now they don't have the same amount of money coming in, sure, but I mean, 585% is a lot. So he's worked with so many high-profile customers: GoPro, Roku, Siemens and Baseball Oakland Athletics, and some other companies. Tracking enterprise, managing inventory, supply chains, all of that, vertical, horizontal, doesn't matter. So what they go into detail about in this story, I'm not going to dig too deep, but my point is that there's been a lot of stories lately that have been talking about the tech bubble. And now in 2000, in the year 2000, there was a dot-com boom or crash that the people will talk about. And what happened was companies were valued higher than what they were actually worth, and when people found that out, they lost a lot of money in the stock market. Now, a lot of people are concerned that the same thing is going to happen because angel investors and venture capitalists aren't getting the same amount of return that they're hoping to get from some of these startups in the tech space. And this article does a really good job of explaining why some of that may happen. Now, I'm concerned because there is a lot of new jobs that are being formed, and especially here where me and Kevin are from. I mean, Kevin goes up to these startup things a lot, and he can probably speak to this, but they're young and they're inspired, and they need funding, and they need, capital and all this other kind of stuff. And if that shrinks up at all, you're going to see a lot more people just be, really strapped, and they're already strapped, but it's more so strapped with cash. And the influx of that. So I'm concerned about this. I think that's something that we all need to watch and make sure that, when you're thinking about investing your money, just watch out, because some of these companies are kind of, doing what they did back then, which is a lot of bravado, not a lot of steam behind them. So, Kevin, what do you have to say about this?
Not a lot of action, you say?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, going to some of these startup events, down here in, downtown St. Louis, which is just a growing tech hub in the United States. There's just a lot of great things are really going on
Mm-hmm.
in the Midwest. As more people think it's just
Mm-hmm.
a typical flyover state. But yeah, seeing the enthusiasm and the great ideas of these young entrepreneurs out of Webster and Wash U and some of these other schools. Wow, yeah. Really makes me wish I would have had a different mindset back when I was finishing up high school and entering college. That, if you have the right people guiding you along the way and helping, prod you along with ideas and suggestions, oh my, how life could be so much different.
Right,
So
right.
it's great to see, and I'm very happy for him. I mean, you'll like Tamanaha. She's like all over the place here in St. Louis and going to conventions in foreign countries and stuff like this. It's like, man, she's just awesome. So that's Champio, yeah, B Champio, I think.
Yeah,
.com.
Champio. Yeah, we had him on the STL Tech Talk. If y'all want to check that out, I think most of our listeners wouldn't mind checking that stuff out. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
there's still some good stuff over there.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So you're up, Kevin.
Yeah, so Xbox Live, most people are extremely familiar with that. Typically, they're used to playing that on Xbox 360 or the Xbox One.
Yep.
Well, now Microsoft is announcing that they're going to make Xbox Live for Windows 10 free for online multiplayer gaming. So, according to The Verge, Microsoft is finally bringing Xbox Live to Windows PCs and phones in a meaningful way with Windows 10, and it comes with the possibility of online multiplayer gaming using Microsoft's gaming service. Now, people that watched the Microsoft event back, I believe, in January, they got to see two people playing. One person was playing on I think it was Fable Legends or something like that on on a desktop computer, and they were also playing at the same time with somebody that was playing on an Xbox One. So being able to play on, the same game cross-platform and, playing together, that's kind of what we're looking at with this. And according to Microsoft's Larry Herb, otherwise known as Major Nelson, he confirmed the plans on Twitter last week in response to concerns over Xbox Live on Windows 10 not charging. Xbox Live Gold will not be required for online multiplayer gaming using our service on Windows 10 PCs and phones. So PC gamers won't be surprised by Microsoft's move to stop charging, but it does bring assurances that the company isn't trying to monetize its Xbox Live service once again on PCs and phones. So if you have one Xbox Live account,
I do.
it's going to work across all platforms, and looks like you won't have to worry about double dipping from
Yeah.
the service.
Microsoft's being serious, man. They're really being serious about they want gamers, they want artists, they want developers. Actually, scratch the first two things I said. They just want developers. Um, they really want to make sure that the public knows. Look, you're gonna hop onto a device, and then if you have other congruent or parallel Microsoft services, that you're just going to enjoy those same experiences no matter what device you go to. I've been playing a lot of different Xbox games on my Windows phone, and then I look at what Android has and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is okay. But I mean, thinking about some of this stuff, there are some really amazing games on Xbox, and um, and on Xbox games. So the future does look amazing. I'm super excited about this, and I hope that I hope that people don't take advantage. I was listening to another show that was Windows focused because I just can't get enough about Microsoft and Windows. I just can't. It's impossible. But I was listening to this and I was thinking how other companies are going to monetize their games if they write once and distribute everywhere. I think that it's going to be cool. I don't think that it's going to be stupid. You're going to have some companies who charge you every time you log in. Whatever, that's going to happen. But for the most part, that's not going to control the world or anything. So I'm just saying, Microsoft's never going to go back to where they were. Android and iOS, they're going to be iOS is going to be doing what they do. And sorry, they have the same taste in my mouth. I just can't help it. But they are going to keep doing what they do. But if you're going to be on Microsoft, really think. I mean, they're going to carve out their little niche market and they're going to roll with it. So I'm excited about that. The next two stories that I have shouldn't shock any of you. They're about security. One of them is Android users are beware of malware sending fake text. Now, this isn't a dig at Android. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that at all. I don't think I've done that to this point. But I just want to inform you guys of what's going on. A malware attacking targeting Android devices has begun spreading worldwide, offering fake Amazon gift certificates in an effort to weasel its way into victims' phones and tablets. The name GAZON. The attack sends messages with fake Amazon vouchers supposedly worth $200. It is on the way to becoming one of the spammiest mobile malware outbreaks seen yet. More importantly, just because they attach themselves to the Amazon brand, right, Kevin? I mean, that's
Oh
a
yeah.
huge brand. So, if opened on an Android device, Gazon or Gazon, however you want to say that, attempts to load malware which will send the same messages to others' phones and their phone contact list, spreading itself even further. According to Adaptive Mobile, the malware has been accessed more than 16,000 times in 30 countries since it began spreading at the end of February. Dude, that's just at the end of February.
Mm.
Nearly 99% of the attack have been spread via SMS text messages. Now, it's kind of old school, but I mean, that still hurts. But it also has been shared via other channels, including Facebook and email. Adaptive said that it discovered the malware on more than 4,000 phones in North America and has blocked roughly 200,000 messages sent from the phone. If victims click on a link in the spam message, it sends them to a web page that asks them to download what is supposedly the Amazon Rewards app. Other fake apps on the page are actually links to sites that could send money each time you click on them through like the wallet or whatever. The text messages Adaptive Mobile Discovery reads, "Hey blank, hey name, like your name. I am sending you a $200 gift." They actually find out what your name is. And they say, "Hey, I'm sending you a $200 gift card. All you have to do is claim it and click here." So you're welcome. That's my public service for the year. I'm going to drop the mic and walk away.
Yeah.
The next story that's up here is
Well, I'd like to comment on that real quick if you'd like to give me a minute.
fine. No,
I
I'm
know,
just
I
kidding.
know.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, so I mean, it just goes to show what, if you get a hold of, just a list of phone numbers and you just start sending out these little text
Mm-hmm.
messages to get
Yep.
the whole ball rolling,
Yep.
this goes to show how fast that can spread and, phishing for information and stuff like that, getting people to click on random links. It's strange. But it's just terrible. The only text messages you're actually going to get from Amazon are going to be delivery notifications typically.
Right. Well, see, that's just the thing, right? I mean, most people know Amazon, so they know that you're going to get text messages for the delivery stuff. So when this comes across, it's not out of the realm of possibility that this is a real thing. You know?
You've got to understand, nobody's going to be sending you information to a $200 Amazon gift card if you fall.
I know, but I mean, and people who fall for it, I wouldn't consider them stupid. I mean, I don't think, I don't know.
It's called being naive,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
they
yeah.
like to say.
Sure, sure. Yeah, so there was an article on The Verge as well explaining how this one guy was just hammered for like, I don't know, $2,500 or something like that. And he had two-factor authentication. He had all this other stuff. That scares the crap out of me. You're right, Kevin. I need a flip phone again. But hey, you know what's funny is even if I had a flip phone, this would still affect me. So it doesn't matter. You can't get around this stuff. Anyways, so
But
the next.
in this case, though, it wouldn't because it can't install an app on your flip phone, which that's
Yep.
what this is
Well,
doing. It leads you to download an app, which then gets into your contact list, which then starts spreading those text messages out to the contacts in your phone, and that's
yeah.
how the cycle keeps snowballing and getting bigger.
Okay, so if anybody wants to send me a flip phone, just send it to. All right. So the next thing that I was running down before Kevin rudely stepped in
Rudely
there.
interrupted.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding you, man. I love you, face. All right. That decades-old freak security flaw affects every version of Windows. Okay, so. I don't know if you guys know this story, but I'll make this real fast. There's a security breach that affected Android and Macintosh. That's Mac, that's Apple. I just want everybody to know it is vulnerable. Okay. A few days ago, computer scientists revealed a widespread security exploit called Freak Out. At first, it was thought to be a vulnerability confined just to Android devices and Macs, but it turns out that it affects all Windows machines too. Essentially, Freak makes use of a United States 90s government policy which calls for the inclusion of weak encryption on exported products to launch dangerous attacks on web browsers from security sites like, guess what, .gov websites and even banks. In an advisory, Microsoft said the exploit affects all supported versions of Windows, and it's currently working on a fix that will come in the form of the much release of an an out of cycle update like the Patch Tuesdays or the Update Tuesdays that many of you know about. You can read more about Freak here in this article, but it's the long and short of it is the government wanted our government, the United States government, wanted the ability to spy into stuff again, and they had this law, and the law was basically this way, and then hackers found out how to use it against us. Big surprise. All right, moving on to the next story. Kevin.
All right, so let me get back on here. Thought that was going to go a little longer. I was getting something sent out, but
Oh,
Samsung
you
has,
thought I was going to be a normal me, but guess what, Kevin?
so
I'm flipping the script.
Samsung has reportedly received 20 million Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge pre-orders from mobile carriers. Now that is a combined number. Now Raw mentioned it to us a little bit earlier in the chat room, and I had seen it, and I hadn't planned on talking about it, but now that it just makes a lot of sense to talk about because that's a pretty big number for a device that's only been available for pre-order for about a week. So
Right.
Samsung received some 20 million pre-orders for the S6 and S6 Edge, 15 million of the S6 and 5 million of the S6 Edge from mobile carriers worldwide, and this is the record. Now these numbers come from the Korea Times, which quotes an unnamed top executive at a leading mobile carrier, whatever.
God.
I know, terrible. So keep in mind that even if these numbers are accurate, they are for pre-order sales to mobile carriers and not to consumers. Now, actual sales of both the new Galaxy smartphones are scheduled to begin sometime in April. Verizon has already announced that it will begin pre-orders for the Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge on April 1st. So those are just pre-orders from carriers that are wanting to have stock in stores for when the device actually does go on sale, which that exact date has not been announced yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good job, Raul. Good job, Kevin. That's stuff. I mean, they're going to sell a lot of these things. I blame Nokia and Microsoft for not stepping up.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully I'll have one in time to take with me to New Media Expo in April.
Oh, that's right. You are. Kevin's going to
Traveling
be
man.
gone a lot this year.
Yeah, I've got
I'm
a
not.
conference in next weekend actually. Not this weekend, but the weekend after next. I'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska, giving a podcast presentation at Nebraska Code Conference.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to miss you.
I know, I know. And
What am I going to do?
then I'll be going to Vegas in April for New Media Expo, and then June back in Vegas for a user conference
Nobody
to
cares,
do
Kevin.
some media,
All
and
right.
then
So,
Austin or Fort Worth, Texas in late July for a podcast movement. Woohoo! Traveling time.
so Kevin doesn't like where he's at right now, so he's just gonna go everywhere but here.
Right. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. All right, the GOP is not HAPPY happy about the new net neutrality. So the GOP politician at odds with most of Silicon Valley on net neutrality. Republicans have toiled. Now the reason why I bring this up is because I brought up a story last show about Hillary Clinton and her email, and I think this goes to what we were talking about before. I just don't think that older people, so older than us, and I consider myself young, but some girl the other day was like, some old guy like in his 30s. I'm like, hey, shut up. um, I just don't think that they understand. I don't think it's like maliceness to a certain extent, but I just don't think they understand. Anyways, they try to tap into Silicon Valley's wealth and technical know-how, which Democrats have done better leverage to win, everything from political seats to state legislator in the Oval Office. Senator Ted Cruz, our Republican for Texas, recently called net neutrality, keeping the internet service provider, as favoring some of the others, the Obamacare for internet. I don't understand how that works, but was cutting utterly what probably sounded like fighting words to valley giants such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, eBay, Netflix, all that stuff. Many in the valley advocate a hands-off libertarian approach to government regulation, but there's a widespread feeling here that government must act to keep the huge telecommunications and cable companies such as AT&T and Comcast from messing with the internet. I mean, nobody wants the internet to be jacked up, you know. There are fast lanes and slow lanes, and guess what? The rich get the fast lanes and the poor get the slow lanes. And
Hmm.
hey, if you believe in that way of life where only the strong survives, I suggest you move to a different country. So by coming down firmly against the FCC, pro net neutrality, Cruz and other GOP politicians now are burning some bridges the party has tried to build, and the Democrats are very happy to take over. So this is a nice little article, I think, about this subject, but it just goes to show, I think, a lack of kind of understanding from some politicians on what exactly is going on around here.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that, I mean, net neutrality is a huge is still such a huge topic, and I mean, it's going to be for the foreseeable future because companies, like Netflix and Comcast and Time Warner and all those wanted to have these special deals that, because Netflix wants to have, a high amount of bandwidth for their services for their customers, and Time Warner and Comcast have no problem taking money from them to, you know, partner up with that to help increase their bottom line so they can,
Mm-hmm.
create
Right.
these deals and
Right.
stuff like that. So,
I'm sorry. The Tech Informist, you guys want to have the ability to stream? Yeah, that's going to be an extra,
yeah,
like
sorry
20,
about
30
that.
bucks. Sorry about.
Yeah,
You
sorry
know
about
what?
that.
You know what? How about this? No, I don't know. I don't want to get into a thing where I turn violent, but I mean, my ultimate thing here is just old people suck sometimes. All right, let's go.
All right, so I think that actually does it for news stories.
Oh my gosh, that went fast. You're
It
welcome,
did.
Kevin.
Yeah, it did.
Kevin
But
was like on our last episode after the show. He's like, JJ, you need to cut your chatter down on some stories, and I was
well,
like,
I mean,
all
today
right.
we've got the Apple event coming up here at 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is noon Central, and we will be, we'd like to invite everybody to stay with us as we do some live coverage following this show. It's going to be kind of a long episode per se, but we'll break it down afterward and do some editing.
Yeah, he's gonna talk more about that after this show's almost done. But
Yeah,
I'll go first. I have been on a roll, and
with
not
music.
Alejandro Ramirez's iOS app. So if you have an iPhone, you should go download You're on a Roll. It's hilarious. It's an awesome app from a good friend of ours. But anyway, so actually that could work as my app pick. But anyway, so entertainment wise, I've been doing a really good job, I think, and listeners have given me feedback saying, "Hey, I like this stuff." There's a band, and trust me, if I could always have a time machine, I would always shoot back to the '90s alt rock stuff because I just love that music. But sadly, we don't have time machines. Anyway, so there's a band called Adelita's Way. It's Adelitas, so Adelita's Way. And they're not from the 90s, but they carry on over kind of that feel to it or whatever. And they have a new song called Undivided that I really like. But their new album is really really good, and I suggest people go check that out if you have Xbox Music, Spotify, all those streaming services. Go check them out. I think you guys are gonna enjoy that. There, Kevin, what do you got for us?
Now, Daryl Pritchard, good long-time listener of pretty much all of our shows, sent out a link recently and reminded me about the Microsoft Virtual Academy. If you go to microsoftvirtualacademy.com, there's all sorts of different free Microsoft training that is delivered by experts in the field, such as HTML5, app development, game development, cloud app development, web, mobile app development, just all sorts of things, even Office 365 for end users or IT pros or developers. And you can just learn all sorts of great things. You can sign up, I believe, for free, and just get over there and watch some stuff. There's really a lot of great information, and it's people that use these services and actually work in this field on a, that's their job, so they know what they're talking about. They're experts in the industry, and get over there and get to learning. It's just really, really good stuff. JJ, have you ever looked
Yeah.
over there, over
Are you
that?
kidding me?
I
Dude,
don't know. You don't tell me everything.
I j- well, that's true. No, I try to pop in there every other day. Brad asked what the site is again. Brad, it's Microsoft Virtual Academy. Am I right about that? Yeah, Microsoft Virtual Academy.com.
virtualacademy.org. Actually, I just put it in the chat room. That's actually .com, Brad. Sorry. My bad. Whoops. That link might actually get you there anyway, though. I mean, good websites buy up the .com, .org, .net, so everything just keeps going and going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much does it for this episode of the Tech Informist. As mentioned before, we definitely invite you all to stay with us as we continue this video. But for those of you that will be listening afterwards or watching this video after the fact, uh, you will not get the second half. But the people that are watching live right now, you will get to stay with us this entire time as we get ready to prepare for the Apple event that's coming up in 15 minutes.
Yep.
So, but for everybody that is just listening to episode 42 of the Tech Informist, we would like to thank you for listening and viewing. And so make sure to get in touch with us after the show. You can follow me on Twitter at Kevin Harbell. JJ, they can follow you where at?
At JJ Hammond Music on Twitter.
Yes. So from everybody here at the Tech Informist, consider yourself informed. We are out. And welcome to our Apple event. Spring forward, it's Apple Watch time. How is everybody doing today? We will be covering this live when the Apple event begins in the next few minutes, but we would like to take this time ahead to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the things that we expect from Apple today. JJ, what are you looking forward to today? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I think I don't believe that I'm alone in this. I'm looking to see if it actually comes with an Apple. No, I'm looking forward to seeing what the answer is to the battery life. Look, we know that this thing is going to be gorgeous. We know this thing is going to sell. And when I say this thing, let's be clear that there's several different kinds of the Apple Watch that's coming out. Like there's different versions. There's, I think, a 42 millimeter and a 38 millimeter in size. There's a gold watch. There's the non-gold variant. There's going to be a ridiculous amount of bands in different colors and stuff. So I'm really just looking forward to battery life. I mean, is this thing going to be able to last a day? I mean, legitimately a day. And then if it is going to last a day, what kind of thing other than just a watch is it going to be able to do? Like, are you going to be able to have on the heart rate? Are you going to be able to have the barometer on? Are you going to be able to have the steps thing on? Are you going to be able to have the pedometer? I mean, what it's going to be on, what's going to be off? I can't hear a word you're saying.
That's because I'm on mute.
Oh, how dare you, sir?
I know. Once in a while, I have to mute myself because you never know. You might have a little cough and things like that. So
Oh, that's okay. This is a bonus show, so we
this is
can kind of.
bonus. This is like extra bonus time.
Yeah,
So
that's nice.
no,
I'm
looking
gonna.
for this. From back in September when they originally announced the Apple Watch and showed it off on stage. The whole idea of when you're doing some navigation and you're walking through areas and just turn by turn, kind of buzzes on the left or right side if you need to make a left or right once you get to the corner of an intersection as you're walking along. Like, that's pretty neat. I mean, I kind of like things like that. curious to see, we've already kind of heard about pricing, and it's going to start at what, 349 or something like that for the
Uh,
base model, and can get pretty expensive with the different editions
sure.
as they have. But there's a lot of excitement for this thing, a lot of excitement. And of course, there's been articles where they're talking about, oh, people will hardly use their iPhone, or they'll never take their iPhone out of their pocket once they get the Apple Watch. I'm like, well, based on my experience from the band or Android Wear devices, well, I still pull my phone out, and even when I'm working on at a desk or table or something, the phone's not in my pocket. It's sitting right there on the table or desk or what have you. So I don't know. I think with Apple doing this Apple Watch, all the most many tech journalists, I mean, they'll just make this thing the next thing since sliced bread, and well, I mean, it could be an amazing device. There's no doubt that Apple is going to do it, and they're going to do it well. We know that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think we're gonna find out a lot of stuff here pretty soon. I'm gonna mess around with this and make sure that I can.
You can watch it. I'm actually opening up Safari now, and I'm gonna do a screen share, and so that's what you'll be able to watch. You probably won't be able to listen
Yeah.
as we do this. I mean, I'll just go ahead and get that screen share going right now. Actually,
All right.
that way we can show what's on.
I
Ah,
I still can't believe that this iPod is gonna be able to
to stream that, yeah.
to stream this. It's crazy.
As you,
Let me.
yeah, so we're about 10 minutes away from the supposed start of this. I've got Safari pulled up. There's images of the audience making its way in, and if these equipment boxes could talk, the stories they would tell. You see tweets from Philip Schiller, empty seats, ahead of time, some badges. The Yerba Buena Center is dressed to impress.
The who and the what now?
The location that Apple's having this event is called the Yerba Buena Center. Obviously, it's in
Mm.
San Francisco. I believe it's part of the Moscone Event Center, Conference Convention Center, where pretty much all major events are held these days. Everything's always in San Francisco. Pretty
Yeah.
much everything major comes from San Francisco, whether it's Apple or Google. I mean, Microsoft, I think that's where Build is going to be.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. It is gonna be. It is gonna be there.
The Moscone Center.
I don't think it's gonna be in the Moscone Center, but yeah, I think it's gonna be. I know that's not what you meant, but I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I know you are. It's just
This is part of my personality,
it's
I guess.
way it is, way it is.
This is kind of fun, Kevin.
Yeah, it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
looking forward to this stuff.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for what, like 2 years now, something like
Yeah, and now we've actually got a way to do this.
that. That's cool.
I'll
Rawl, if you're still listening to us, brother man, which I know you are, because come on. But Brad, you too. This goes for you.
yes,
Um, just threw out stuff on Twitter. Just saying. Just saying.
yeah. Let's open up Twitter and see what is going on over there. Because I mean, I know.
If you wanna tweet out something from ST or blah, 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 from the Tech Informist, I'll retweet it or whatever. Just say, hey, come. You know, if you don't want to listen to Leo Laporte on Twitch, you can come by and check us out
Right.
and get our first reactions from what is this?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get another link sent out for everybody.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, Raw. I wish that I talked more about Android sometimes. I mean, it's not that I don't want to. It's just there's only a few minutes in a day. It feels like so. I know you're a big fan. What the what? Gizmo just tweeted out. Gizmodo just tweeted out. Do you want a life-size Hulk Buster? I didn't know that's what the name of the new Iron Man suit was. It's called the Hulk Buster. You can get that. You can get a statue for $21,500. Is that crazy
Hmm.
or what?
We've seen some really cool, kind of like statues from Iron Man in the Samsung booth at CES. And I think you might have saw that one picture that I'd sent back.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
God, that
right.
thing was awesome. It was huge. It was huge.
God, can you imagine? I'm gonna click on this. Don't. Okay, thanks. Print screen. Oh yeah. God, I love print screen. Man, I see some really cool stuff sometimes, and I'm like, I never want to forget this. Oh, so let's see. Yeah, I read that Verge article. It really freaked me out, man. This dude had like two-factor authentication on everything, and this chick stole like a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, that sucks.
Hmm.
Dude, this Hulkbuster thing, seriously, I'm gonna retweet this. Kevin, if you want to see it, it's freaking amazing. It's ginormous.
Well, I'm sure it is.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, there it is. Toyland. Toyland Giz from Gizmodo. Ooh, boy, it is big.
That's ridiculous, right? I mean, that's like an actual human being standing to the right-hand side of it.
Yeah. I like this. Richard Devine. Every time someone says magical, take a drink.
Okay. Hey,
Pulling up the drinking game.
what's the? Oh gosh, this is gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to pull up my Xbox video. Anime on sale.
Ugh. Yeah, so I mean, I guess some other things that we're um, expecting from today's announcement is, there's a lot of rumors of a new MacBook Air and maybe information about a iPad Pro. I don't know what all we're going to get today. We'll see. There's plenty of people that do know, and some people are having to hold off on their embargoes and NDAs where they can't talk about it. But you'll see posts start flying here soon.
That's interesting. Man, Xbox video. This is. I forget that this is even here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say the. Do you even watch that Once Upon a Time?
Oh yeah, definitely. We didn't. We haven't caught last night's episode.
Is it any good? Is it
It's
worthwhile?
to me, it's great. I mean, it's not overly in depth, and I was always wondering how they're gonna keep the show going. I think this is season 4, so they've done it. It's still a really solid show
Hmm,
that I would recommend people watch. You can stream the first 2 or 3 seasons on Netflix as well. So if you haven't watched it yet, and, I mean, it's not just all about little love stories and happy endings and stuff like that. It's really a good little show
well,
for
on
well thought
Xbox,
out.
yeah, Xbox Video, their Corella Deville
Yep,
is on there.
she's in the season along with the Ursula, I think that's her name from Little Mermaid, and there's the other one, Maleficent.
Yeah.
She's
You know.
in
Oh, really?
this
You know,
season.
another show I wanted to watch is The 100. That looks really good.
I have not heard of that actually.
Yeah, that looks really, really good.
Brad, I'm jealous you're over there making lunch.
Yeah, Kevin, you need to go grab something to eat because I'm not about to do a show with your.
I will. I'll be good, Kevin, man. Not crabby Kevin today.
All right.
I'm good. I'm good right now. Things are good. Things are good. I'm excited to see what Apple does with this. We finally sold our iPad. Hey, woo, yay.
Ah, right.
So we can put that towards getting us an iPhone, and we can start reviewing accessories and apps and services and see how that experience is.
So for our listeners, um, again, I get Apple. It's okay. I'm not trying to beat them up too much, but you
Oh
gotta
yeah, you will.
watch. You gotta watch the very first episode of the 18th season of South Park because it is hilarious.
Yes, yes.
Eric Cartman gets up on stage and acts like um, Tim Cook, and it's just hilarious. You gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it.
So Tim Cook says he's getting psyched backstage listening to "I Lived" by One Republic.
By One Republic. Do they have a new album out or something?
It's possible.
Hmm.
I don't know if anything's like the uh, last Apple event. Maybe they'll give out an album preloaded on everybody's iTunes accounts, like they did with the YouTube album, which that really upset all sorts of people. Apparently,
Yeah.
people don't like U2 because they're
Apparently.
focused on Bono's political stuff. Well, yeah, I like listening to the music. I don't have to necessarily like the person to like enjoy a band's music.
Right. Oh, there's lots of bands that I like, and like actors are the same thing to me. Like I like people like Tom Cruise, for example. He's a psycho, but his
Yeah,
movies are really good.
yeah.
I don't care if people want to
Don't
hate
judge
on me
me.
for that.
Yeah.
No, judge me. I don't care. People are gonna
Oh,
judge me whether I want them to or not.
yeah.
So, I mean, I could say suck it, but I guess that really wouldn't change how they feel.
No.
Just making lunch, huh, Brad? Huh, Brad? Well, you
Yeah.
live close enough. You can make a drive. Come on down here.
Yeah. Yeah. You could, deliver some right here.
Yeah. What am I gonna do for lunch, Kevin? What sounds good?
I don't know. It's too bad you guys don't have a Jimmy John's out that
We
way.
don't have crap out here, man.
Nothing that really
Sucks.
delivers.
Yeah.
So what are you having for lunch, Brad? Please do share. Share in the chat
Hey,
room.
did you
Let's
did
see.
did you already hold on? Tech Informist join. Okay, so I'm gonna. All right. Let's see how many times I can retweet this. Just get people to follow.
A million times.
This is gonna. You're gonna be pissed, but I don't really care.
No, that is more than fine. Everything's good.
Everything is awesome. All right. So how do I get the screen to stay on? I guess.
So is everybody excited about spring training? It's baseball time. Games are definitely being played. I think the Cardinals have played about four now, four maybe five, something like that. Things are good so far, no major concerns.
Yeah, I'm excited about spring training. It's cool. We need one success story out of this town.
Yeah.
Stupid football teams. I hate that. It drives me nuts. Um,
So just waiting for the video to start showing here. Keynote will begin at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is now.
yeah, I know. I was gonna say, I'm like, what time is it?
So you can follow the post below before the show starts. Live streaming video requires Safari 5.1.10 or later on OS X version 10.68 or later, or Safari on iOS 6.0 or later. You can watch it on Apple TV as well. So for those of you who have an Apple TV, you can watch there. And there's a picture of Tim Cook backstage. It's go time for Tim.
Well, he needs to get on it.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping that the team has things set up properly for the event.
Okay, well, it's on. Um, just want to let you know if you want to refresh your screen or whatever.
Well, I don't know where. This is very strange, kind of interesting here. Like you go to www.apple.com/live, and all of those is just take me to the Apple page.
That's weird because I'm like watching it right now.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of people from China are happy about Apple.
Yeah.
Or I'm not trying to be, but there was a lot of Oriental people there.
Hmm.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I'm a billionaire. Good morning.
Oh, see if I can get this thing figured out. I don't know why it's not working. Strange.
Oh, I was right.
With what?
Uh, New Apple store in China.
Hmm.
That's what the thing was. It's the perfect place to experience our products.
Hmm, let's see.
Who wouldn't want to see their stores that sell out everything?
Oh, definitely. Well, this is very strange. I know this is all the latest information. Yeah, you should be able to watch it on a Mac. All right.
So funny that the Windows guy right now is able to get it and you're not.
Yeah, so well, you're watching it on an iOS device, so I'm just gonna keep playing around with this until get this figured out. It's very strange.
Maybe it knows you're on Google.
It might. That's a very possibility.
120 million customers visited their stores last quarter.
Oh,
Can you
wow.
hear like this in my ear?
I can hear a little of it.
Okay, hold on. All right, how about now?
No, no, just keep talking and you keep covering it until I get this figured out. This is kind of strange.
All right, he's talking about Apple TV. Netflix, Hulu, A&E, Disney, ABC, Fox, ESPN, basketball, baseball, Showtime, PBS, CBS News, HBO now.
Yeah, this is very strange. Why it's not like there's nothing here to click on to get this to start.
Veep. Is Veep a good show? Does anybody know that?
I've heard it was really good.
Well, he's
I
talking
mean,
about that now.
Julia Louise-Dreyfus. I mean, she's a great actress.
How like Jesus? I swear Game of Thrones is I just the most overrated show ever.
No, it's 'cause you just don't like certain aspects of it. It's
Whatever, Kevin. It's an
just
overrated show.
you can't knock an entire show.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
I don't see anybody stopping me.
Ooh, a new partnership with HBO.
Yep. Good morning. All right, so the guy who runs HBO is Richard somebody. HBO Now. That's what they're talking about.
Nice, nice.
It's their standalone streaming service.
Hmm.
I know you love Game of Thrones, Brad.
That's funny. So I know I've got an updated version of Safari here.
So you can get HBO Now past, present, and future. No cable or satellite. All you need is a broadband connection and an Apple device. So it's going to be just on HBO's. Son of a, are you kidding me? I don't have anything that's Apple except for this freaking iPod.
Yeah, well, I've actually I mean, I've found and I've copied and pasted that address, but every time I do, it will not take me to a video. That is the strangest thing. And
Did you
it's,
try he just posted something like a second ago.
yeah, that's the link I just
The
tried that link
YouTube
too.
thing?
Yeah.
It's only 15 bucks, well, 14.99, 15 bucks a month.
Yeah. Yeah, but just copy pasting that's not working as well. It's the YouTube as well.
If I was good with GIFs, I'd make like Kevin's hair on fire right now.
Ah, no, it's just if you're
Oh, it's releasing today. HBO Now is getting released today
hmm.
for Apple devices. If anybody knows, I'd like to know if this goes not just for Apple or if this is an Apple exclusive right now.
Hmm.
I've seen more people relate to this young blonde haired girl than any other character I've seen on television. It's so creepy.
They still talk about HBO.
Yep. It's basically just a promo for Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, of course. Um,
Something about gods, something about sex, something about dragons, something about gods, something about some more sex, something about some more dragons.
in other words, two-thirds things JJ does not want to watch on his TV shows. Yeah, so for everybody watching along here, this is what I get when I punch in apple.com/live. Just shows the same
You
page.
know, Brad, it's like the most pirated show in history, I think, is Game of Thrones.
Yes, that it is.
That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense, I mean, because they don't exactly make it easy to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
So he's talking about Apple TV, and they sold over 25 million, and that's sold to date, so it's not like a quarter or anything. The entry level price is 99 bucks. Duh.
Yeah, hey, there it is. Finally.
Wow. Whoa. Apple TV 69 bucks instead of 99. I guarantee you Microsoft needs to do something here, man. Like the Xbox One needs to have like a serious price drop.
Right. Yep.
Next up is iPhone.
Yep.
Okay, so you can hear what's going on now, right?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Okay.
But I'm apparently a few seconds behind you.
All right. So, iPhone 6, the best phone in the world. 700 million iPhones sold. Raw, Kevin is up and running now, buddy. Thanks, though. We really
Yes.
appreciate that.
Best smartphones in the world.
I think Brad's going to go buy an Apple TV. No, I'm just messing with you, Brad. Number one smelling smartphone in the world. Our, quit telling us what we already know.
Now you got to recap everything.
Sure.
They haven't talked since September, so
Has it been that long? It feels like it hasn't been that long.
It's been that long.
We've done something very revolutionary. I'm telling you, first season of season 18, South Park. You guys are gonna love it.
So I guess that 1% of the 99% satisfactory is the one person that intentionally bent their phone, the YouTube guy.
Right. Sorry. Listening to you, listening to this, and typing at the same time.
It's a lot of banks. 2,500.
I always thought of myself as more of a Pepsi guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it just depends. I think Pepsi fountain is great, but I like Coke in the bottle and Coke in the can. It's
Mm.
just it's really weird.
So the it looks like Apple TV's HBO Now starts in April. Does it tick anybody else off? I'm just kind of curious that it's just that for Apple.
What, the Go? No, it's no different than any other exclusive for certain things. Let's see, what am I going to do this?
It ticks me off. I mean, I want to be
Well,
able to
yeah,
have
because you're a
that on.
Microsoft guy. You can't get the service.
Shut up.
Let's see.
CarPlay, yeah, we know what that's all about. So CarPlay, HomeKit, all very
Oh,
interesting.
yes.
So HomeKit, that's the okay. So that's like a competitor to Nest, right?
I believe so, and Insteon and stuff like that.
Health. I don't like that design. It's a weird looking design.
What, for that app or
Yeah, for health.
that
Just
icon?
yeah.
Just white and a little heart, like where a heart would be on a person.
Why do I want to eat it? Is that just because it looks like a
Looks like one of those
Valentine's?
little Valentine's candy,
Yeah,
yeah.
candy. Yeah.
Conversation candy.
I like the ones that they make like sexy like comments and stuff on them.
No, like at Spencer's.
Yeah, the dirty ones. It's hilarious. Medical research. Come on, Kevin.
It's funny
Get your
that
mind out of the gutter.
it's funny you like that, but yet you don't like Game of Thrones.
Shut up, Kevin. You're something else, man. I'm an enigma wrapped in an enigma wrapped in a nutty bar.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
Come on up, Jeff.
Medical research. Tell me something I don't know. Medical research is behind. Yes, I know. It's because it's a business. No, tell people what it's really about. It's about money. Jesus. Dude, I guarantee you, almost every problem in the world would be solved if money wasn't an issue.
Right.
I know it would be. I meet with medical startups, and I've met with medical startups. Everybody, they just need money. That's it. That's it.
Hmm. Money makes the world go round.
Kevin is the man. How dare you, Raw? Yeah, he may be the man.
Thanks for all.
And we were just starting to be friends. I feel like this is an eye poke to Health Vault. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, I mean, it's their version. Each company's going to have to do something like this. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Apple Pay is dominating. Yes. Smart. Research kit. Huh. Okay. What does this mean? Research kit. So you got health kit, home kit, research kit. Lets them create apps, turns iPhone and health kit into powerful tools for diagnostics. Wow. Stanford, Cornell, Sage. I'm jelly. Mm. Just put me on some toast and ate me. Parkinson's disease. Uh,
yeah, it's a nice list of schools there and
yeah,
companies.
that's great. Turns it into a diagnostic tool.
Yeah, I know Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, any kind of research that can go towards that is good
Yeah,
stuff.
well, dementia.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's interesting. Because I'm seeing the use two fingers to alternately tap your fingers on the screen and stuff,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
checking for tremors and stuff like that.
So you've got the activity data, and then you've got so you've got the background data, and then you've got the data that's on the front end. So what you can see from this, from the millions and millions and millions of people that have iPhones, be just test subjects for all this data. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, early detection is huge. And I'm sure everybody has been out somewhere and you've seen, whether it's an older woman or an older guy. Typically, you see it with older women. Um, their head's kind of shaking a little bit, and I mean, it's just they just kind of feel bad. And hopefully, stuff like this they can help, get early diagnosis and begin treatment as soon as possible. Hmm. Diabetes app, nice. Asthma detection as well. I wonder if they're going to do anything for ALS or anything like that.
Um, Excuse me there. I was away for a minute, but
So I wonder how far back these apps will work with phones if you'll have to obviously be on iOS 8 or if you can actually use it on iOS 7 devices. I would think 8 and above. It's probably going to be an iPhone 6, 6 Plus and above kind of thing.
Yeah. Hmm. Breast cancer, that's huge.
Hmm.
Ooh. You know JJ's happy about this. Privacy.
Yeah, privacy's big for you.
Wow. Well, you're about to see it, but Apple will not see your data, your medical data anyway.
Yeah.
You make it hard for me to hate you, Apple. No, I'm just messing with you. So, video time. Yay! You know, I do respect Apple for this a lot. I mean, I know it's, the more people that have iPhones, the better for them.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, they're using these devices as tools now to help with disease. You
Yeah,
know, it's awesome.
it is good.
And that would, affect me personally. So yeah.
Affects a lot of people. Affects a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah,
all other companies. I mean, it's a shame that they can't all put all their money to work together on this. Could you imagine what could actually be done if all these people joined forces?
right. Yeah, there's a video and they're talking about this stuff, and it's a research app, and that kind of most of the people are going to gloss over this. But while they're doing this, did you know, Kevin, that at the Xbox Live and Google, and I think PlayStation, Sony, they're all working together. Believe it or not, for this DDoS attacks. Can you believe that? It's
No?
like, why can't you guys work together on everything? What the heck, you know?
Right. Yeah, it is a shame that they can't do that more.
It's crazy how emotions are just so the reason. Like people base their decisions in life. There's a study, Pew and a bunch of other ones
Yeah.
that base their decisions 80% emotional, 20% non-emotional. Can you believe that?
Interesting.
80% of the time they'll make an emotional decision over 20% that's a logical one. I'm like, you got to be Jesus.
Yeah.
This is great. No, this is really cool. Welcome, guests. We appreciate you coming into the chat. Say something in the chat. Just say hi.
Yep. Guest 788 and guest 516.
Mm-hmm. You guys seem awesome. No. Gosh, if you didn't think there was a lot of iPhones out there right now, boy, I tell you.
Definitely.
I mean, I know that Android makes up a majority of, the mobile platform, but if you're talking about, yeah, Raw, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Actually, that's just what I was getting ready to say. I literally was just getting ready to say that. We're on the same wavelength, brother man. When you've got Apple, who arguably has people who, I hate to say it like this, but they have money, right? Uh, they are more than likely they have a percent of the users on mobile on their mobile platform are that have money. And with this research stuff and all this other kind of stuff, it's like there's almost no room for Android and even Microsoft to with their mobile OSs to even play along, you know?
Right.
It's tough. It's very tough, but good for them. So they're going to add research kit over time. So they're not saying exactly when they're going to roll this out. That's kind of interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's open source. What the? Nuh-uh. I don't believe that's true. Open source from Apple? That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Wow, the first 5 apps: breast cancer, heart disease, lung, and I can't remember what those other ones were. Look at that circle. My circle's gorgeous. Where's that? I was looking at your screen for the.
I'll get it back up.
Oh, darn it. You missed it. It was like it was heart, it was Parkinson's, it was lung, asthma, it was something else and something else. I can't remember what it was. All right, Tim Cook's back up. The iPhone's continuing to change a whole bunch of stuff. Yep, we get you. Research good. Disease bad. Kevin! Holy
JJ.
crap! I told you. Remember when I was telling you about the picture? And most of people might remember me talking about how you're going to see a picture of a watch, a phone, a laptop, and then an all-in-one. They
Mm-hmm.
just did that.
Nice.
You'll see it in just a second.
Spoiler alert.
See?
There it is. Wow.
You
Ooh,
know
the
what? When
Mac.
I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I am wrong. Yeah, I agree with you, Roll. Yep. That's not good. Mac versus notebook. That's not really fair. Yeah, because, they're being financed. I feel like somebody's going to be sticking a finger in the eye of Google and Microsoft here.
No.
I see it coming.
A company CEO would never do that, would they?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think Satya Nadella would do that.
I mean, he wants to put his software on that platform to take advantage of the
Uh-oh,
use.
Kevin. They reinvented the notebook, and here it
No.
is. It's a brand new
No.
device. Surely, right. Uh-oh, new device. New device. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is going to be weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's a song. Singing along.
The, the
Sing
Sur-
along time.
they showing off the Surface Mac Pro.
Yep, the Surface Mac Pro.
Like I'm seeing he's showing off they just kicked off a video. It's weird how my stream is behind yours. Strange.
Deal with it.
Can't. Can't.
Holy crap, what is this thing?
It's a bubble.
No, 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 no. Well, I'm looking at something you haven't seen yet, so. This looks like exactly what all the renders looked like online 4 weeks ago, five
Look
weeks
how
ago.
thin this keyboard is. Well, it's probably the Mac Air. Wow.
No,
That's
it's MacBook.
yeah, MacBook Pro or MacBook Air.
No, just MacBook.
Yeah, okay.
And here it is. Your Surface Pro.
Ah, but is it a detachable keyboard?
Hold on.
Oh, there's one behind it and another one behind it. Multiple colors? Whoa. Look at that.
Okay. Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time, Mr. Whatever color shirt that is. It's just called MacBook. It's not called anything
Yeah.
else.
Wow,
That's that's pretty thin.
that is a very small laptop.
Is that really necessary? It weighs 2 pounds. The Dell XPS 13 that just came out is gorgeous. This thing seems to be pretty gorgeous.
That's what Phil just said. It's gorgeous. Wow.
Hmm.
13.1 millimeter device at its thickest point. Wow, 24% thinner.
It's an all new keyboard. Oh, it's ridiculous. No offense. This is gorgeous, and they're going to sell a lot of these things, but they're talking about the science of keyboard keys.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and they're kind of showing off a little demonstration of the keys now, and yeah, some keyboard manufacturers can do the scissor mechanism properly, and some can't. HP, you can't. Lenovo, you do good. Lenovo does really good with their keyboards.
Lenovo does amazing with their keyboards. I just
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, after repairing and replacing keys and stuff like
Hmm.
that for the last 4 years, yeah, I know my way around a Lenovo keyboard.
So a new blacklight, a new backlight. I'm sorry.
Now, why couldn't they put this new keyboard on this MacBook Pro that I got? Gosh,
Do
talk about
you?
second guessing.
Okay, okay. This is not for work. This is
I know.
for taking notes, and that's it.
Oh yeah,
It's
this is for
a
travel.
12-inch display with some nice bezels on it, which is interesting. Retina display.
Yeah, 2304 by 1440 resolution. It looks like. I'm surprised that they just call it MacBook.
Look, I
Say it. Say you want one.
oh no, I wasn't gonna say that. No, what I'm saying is that this thing. Look, the science isn't there yet. It's just not there for battery life yet. It just isn't. And this reminds me of when the God, what were those little things called? Were they called netbooks, Kevin? Came
Yeah,
out?
the little bitty
Yeah,
HPs and Asus and things, Acers.
right. This reminds me of that. Like this is going to be a very there's no way that the processing power in this is going to be able to handle what people are going to want it to do. Does that make sense? Like they're going to want to watch videos, they're going to want to watch or
Well, that's not going to be a problem. You're not going to be able to edit video. You can forget that.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is like watch a video, have TweetDeck or Twitter, have your Facebook, have the like dude, Facebook alone will take up your CPU on a big machine. And I'm being I'm not hating. I'm just telling the truth. You know, this isn't.
Yeah, I think this will be able to handle those kinds of things.
I don't. I mean, we'll I'm sure we'll check one out, but I don't without like overheating and exploding in like that guy's pocket or
Yeah.
whatever. Now, Apple, they've always done nice trackpads. Kevin, you could probably speak to that more than I could, but their
Oh,
trackpads
definitely.
are really nice.
Yeah. I mean, the one on the type cover, that's just terrible. Maybe even trying to do the multi-finger, actions and stuff. It's just not the same.
Now, I will say Lenovo's trackpads are really nice.
I don't know. Ever since they went with that kind of textured design, I don't like it. Give me the track
Says
force.
this. Yeah, you're right, Roll. This is 30% less energy. It uses 30% less energy.
It's force click stuff they're talking about. It's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like that. The whole, force click on a file on your desktop and it brings up a preview and you can do signatures in the trackpad. That's kind of cool. Watching a movie in QuickTime. That's interesting. So I wonder how many people are going to be listing their MacBook Airs for sale today.
You want to talk about getting the crap scared out of you? Sarah left her phone here
Ah,
and just opened the door, and I was like, I just lost my mind.
ooh, first fanless MacBook.
That's the same thing. The processor looks like the same thing that's in the Surface Pro 3.
It's probably very similar technology or similar build design.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just like what you know. I'm just comparing it to what's on the market right now.
Right.
So basically, Raspberry Pi with a gajillion batteries inside.
Yeah. Yeah, using a Core M CPU.
No, you're about to see what's going to happen here. It's going to be hilarious when you see this.
Yeah. Well, let me just
No, just watch.
fill it with batteries.
You see that?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This is amazing. This is really. Let's leave it to Apple. Holy cow. Okay, I changed my mind. Raul, you're right. All day battery life.
I don't know about the way that he just said terrorist. It sounded like terrorists. I'm
Yeah.
like what?
Why?
Terrorists.
So you can rock this thing supposedly for 9 hours on heavy use.
Hmm. Yeah, by going with that Core M, man, it's like I mean, like you were just talking with performance and stuff, it's gonna definitely limit what your use case is gonna be with this for sure. 802.11 AC and Bluetooth 4.0. And speaking of Bluetooth, I actually used Bluetooth with my Dell Venue Pro last night because I when I uninstalled the wireless driver on it, because sometimes it just has little issues of not wanting to connect, even though it was just connected.
Right.
I had to use Bluetooth to pair it to my phone so I could download the driver for it and get it set back up. But it worked, no problems.
This is interesting. So, well, you're looking at it now. Through the power connector, you
Hmm.
can connect USB-C, Thunderbolt, HDMI, display, VGA.
Yeah. Looking through Twitter, it's interesting because the people you would expect to be negative about this are being negative about it. That's funny. Yeah, so I mean that's the only port is the USB-C. Yeah. So accessory makers get to work because you're gonna have to have splitters for charging and plugging in devices and stuff like that.
That was a good point. Ben, the PC guy, just said, "Am I seeing this right? But there's no standard size USB connector on the new MacBook, which means you're gonna have to buy a dongle."
Yep.
By the way, the word dongle, hilarious.
Hmm.
That's like ho-hos and ding-dongs. World's most energy efficient notebook. Okay. Ooh, a video. Oh Jesus, it's Johnny Ives.
Mr. Designer. It's interesting that they're doing this in three colors though, instead of just, the standard silver that everybody's used to. Basically making it iPad, iPhone-ish. So I guess they're just doing away with the MacBook Air name, aren't they?
I guess.
Because I mean, the only name that they keep referring to is just new MacBook.
Hmm. Well, I mean, they're not doing away with it. They're just saying you've got the MacBook Air, the MacBook, and then the MacBook Pro. That's my guess.
Yeah. Just wonder if they're gonna still keep that, well, what essentially will be the mid-range device, which would be the MacBook Air.
Yeah, you're right, because it's not necessarily mid the well. It's not the Air, right? I mean, well,
Right.
you wouldn't associate Air with you would associate Air with this new one, not with the
Yeah,
one
'cause I
that you're.
mean,
Yeah.
Air runs a traditional i3, i5, stuff like that, not a Core M processor. I think so far the biggest complaints about people about this Mac Air is or MacBook is the single port. That's it's the biggest complaint, biggest gripe so far that I can see, and I can see that being an issue for some people.
It
We'll
would be
just
an
have,
issue for me.
yeah, we'll just have to. I mean, we'll just have to see what they come out with. I'm sure there's going to be something that just plugs right into it that you can plug your charger in, and then also a USB if you really need that. Not everybody needs everything at the same time, but some people do. But if you are, this is probably not the device for you. I mean, this is a device for portability and, getting, notes taken.
Hmm.
This is not a this is not a work machine that you're going to be getting a whole lot of stuff done, transferring files back and forth. This isn't what this is going to be for.
The the headphone jack looks ginormous to this thing,
Oh, I
dude.
bet. Yeah, I can imagine. Man, I almost feel like I can just,
Did you see that? Look at that thing. It looks
yeah,
ginormous.
yeah, it's every bit as that's. I mean, that's how thick this MacBook is, look at the standard thickness of a headphone jack on your phone or something, and that's how thick the bottom of this device is. That puts it in great perspective. Which honestly, looking at the thickness of this MacBook Pro, it's not a whole lot different. Obviously, the MacBook Pro is thicker because then it rounds out on the bottom where the fans and everything are, but it's very similar.
Mash. No, I'm not gonna follow that hashtag. 12.99.
Wow, 12.99, huh?
15.99 for the next tier. Ugh. Yikes. They're keeping MacBook Air name.
Hmm.
So it's being updated. Thunderbolt 2 connections.
Yeah, so you'll have your medium or low, mid, high-end devices. Wow. Hmm. New MacBook Airs are available now.
Do you mind if I smoke him? I'm gonna give him his meds.
Hmm.
Don't freak out. But these, let's see. The Apple Watch. Here we go, Kevin.
Yep, it's Apple Watch time.
It's not just with you, it's on you. That's creepy. Okay. Timepiece, connect with others, health and fitness companion.
Most advanced timepiece ever created.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Tim. You're being a tease. You're being a flirt. What do you think, Kevin?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm a few seconds behind, but I mean, we'll see. They finished talking about the time performance or time accuracy. Now talk about elegance and still talk about the design. That display, showing that flower bloom. I love the Mickey Mouse watch face. That's pretty neat.
You're next. You're watch. You're watch. That's an inside joke, guys
Yeah, very
and
inside
gals.
joke.
Yep. But it's hilarious. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Rawl. I think Android Wear does look better right now. I just ticked off some more people, I'm sure. I don't care.
let's talk about the glances and swiping up from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I remember people talking about you weren't going to be able to swipe around on this thing.
That was a lie.
Yeah,
For
like, yeah, plenty of swipes there.
okay, so there's messages that you can see. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can see on your watch. But real quick, I want to plug something on last Wednesday night's show of Codecast by STL Tech Talk. We actually covered all the different things that are coming out today. So go back and watch that if you want to see an in-depth developer take on the new Apple Watch.
Right, with Alejandro Ramirez. I believe that was episode 39 as well.
Mhm. Android Wear. That's all that this is.
Yeah, it's the Apple
So
version
so
of
far.
what Google's doing to a point.
So far, and I'm not trying to be any kind of way about it. So far, that's all I'm seeing.
I mean, I know he got really excited about the fact that you can answer a phone call from the Apple Watch, but yeah, I've been able to do that on a Android Wear for almost a year now. Yeah, I like that. Pressing the side button, bringing up a list of your friends,
That's cool.
for your quick contacts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hear you. A blast for a whole hour with these new touch features.
Hmm. You still talking about the heartbeat stuff here, I see.
Mhm.
It's like recapping the September event.
I know, I know. It's like, come on, man, give me something new.
Yeah. Yeah, give us final pricing, final release dates, and
Hmm. So 3D graphic, elegant. You can see a whole bunch of activity all in one shot. Stand, exercise, move. That's kind of cool.
yeah.
You can also see your weekly activity. It sends you a weekly report. Like, I need that. But that is interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Um, very Apple-esque in design.
And the
I'm
integration
I'm
with
used to.
the health kit and all that other stuff that they were talking about to kick this thing
Yeah,
off
yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
is gonna be good.
Yep.
And once, as developers are more and more familiar and keep getting more and more creative,
Hmm.
we'll see where all this stuff goes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
some of the best
so
devs are Apple developers, so
yeah. I
yes.
don't see myself reading reports on my watch like that because I look at that stuff on my phone.
Yeah, I don't really use Android Wear or anything like this for much reading.
Right.
Because I mean, with something like this, you just want quick information. Maybe a few scrolls. You're not going to sit there and scroll through an entire email. At least I never do.
Okay, he's introducing somebody that has a longer title than anyone I've known ever. I mean, that's great. Whoever this person is, I have no idea who it is, but right on.
Maternal health advocate. She's got an impressive resume, that's for sure.
I don't know who this person is. I'm gonna have to look her up. Wonder if Wikipedia is gonna break because of this. Christy.
Oh, the model, Christy Turner.
Oh, sure. So she's hot. Looks like. Like it looks like she's actually hot. Like Kelvin's. Okay, I hear a girl panting and like running in my. Okay, there it is. She's big with PETA.
I
She'd
guess this is her
rather
running. Yes.
she'd rather go naked than wear fur. Just saying. So I'm sure that people are going to be able to go back and watch this thing, but what we're looking at is a girl, a person, doesn't matter if it's a girl or a guy, but a person running with the watch, and being able to track things such as time,
Distance.
distance, just all that stuff, and it's nothing new that we haven't seen from, say, Fitbit or any of those other kinds of things. It's all about the presentation, though, right? So it shows you kinds of these things from that, but I don't know how. I mean, as psychotic as I am about watching data plots and stuff like that,
Right.
and graphs and stuff, I just don't see this being that informative. Like, okay, so I was 3% lower this week than last week on my runs. Well, that's because life got in the way. I don't know how you change that.
Right.
No way would I go to Africa for any reason whatsoever.
You know, it looks really big on her wrist. I mean, she's extremely skinny.
Yeah. That was a big complaint for people on Android Wear and on the Microsoft Band was the size of this thing.
Yeah. Well, it's tough to pack in all those features on a.
Oh, jawbone. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Hmm. Sure.
Half marathons are kind of challenging.
So they're talking about how she was looking at her wrist while she was running to look at certain things. I don't believe that's true. I've never been able to run and then look down at my wrist while I was like doing some serious stuff. Like if I'm jetting, if I'm will Apple Watch have sensors to be able to show if you are sitting down or exercising? Yes.
There's some interesting stuff there. Barometer that functions as a sensor to check if you're just shaking your arm or standing or sitting.
Hmm.
Yeah, Raul, remember, I think it was a week or two ago where Tim Cook said that there was that story that I think we talked about, that it will recognize if you've been sitting too long. That it'll kind of like buzz to say, hey, you might want to get up and get moving.
Ooh, they're promoting Siri.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how well I mean, they're definitely going to sell like hotcakes right out of the gate. We know that. They're going to be extremely hard to find
Hmm.
for the next couple months.
So, developers for the Watch Kit, there's been thousands of apps developed. He says they're phenomenal, of course, and they're going to show us some of those applications now. But again, I'm going to go back to something I was talking about before. If you're in depth doing things, um, it's very difficult or even sane to look at your wrist and flip through notifications, answer a call, end a call, reply to an email, check your stats, all this other different kind of stuff. And I'm sure there's a way to handle all of that, but I would just say that that just seems a little kind of crazy.
Right. Oh, I thought he was going to bring me on stage. I'm like, hey, I'm not ready.
Mm. I'm trying to get Alejandro to hop into our chat.
I would think he's watching somewhere.
He is. He just told me he was, but he said he wasn't watching our stuff. So
Shame on him.
I know I'm gonna smack him.
Salesforce Wave, interesting. Definitely got to love the sports scores. I always want to know what's going on. I always love flight information.
What's the weather like?
So it looks
Location.
like okay. So I was getting ready to ask, how you've got to interact with that. So it looks like you can just do a Hey Siri or press and hold a button.
Man, where have I heard that before?
I don't know.
Hmm.
All right. I'll be right back.
No. Okay, so right now there's a WeChat reply message. There's integration with it's similar to Hey Cortana, but it's also similar to please don't turn on my phone. It's also similar to OK Google. Oh man, that did turn on my phone. So there's hey. Crap. So right now they're talking about the Apple Watch, how to use the Apple Watch and paying for things like food. There's just so much integration with Apple Pay and Apple Watch. So there is a terminal that they're showing off um, that like a person would go to and swipe their watch and pay for something. So this is pretty interesting right here. So they're talking about a point of sale. By the way, I don't like the acronym POS because it reminds me of piece of crap.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So point of sale, they should just say that. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Points.
it's like duty. POS is one of those things. I'm gonna laugh every time somebody says it. I don't care who you are.
Right.
If it's in a board meeting, I will do it even more so.
Yes.
That's probably why I don't have a job.
See the traffic.
So the crown is a good idea for scrolling so that you don't, so that, well, not just scrolling, but just like looking at different stuff,
Hmm.
right? I
I
mean, that
like
makes
having that.
sense. But
I, I think it's a great idea to implement into these things. It's a lot easier to, scroll through things with that than sitting there swiping up and up and up and up.
mhm. Somebody call this man. Okay, so sorry, I took a little hiatus from when I was talking, so I just want to keep everybody in the loop. So basically, what we got going on now is he's answering a call on his wrist, and bow wow meow. What the? So
Wow.
Kevin, can you answer me a question? Is he actually talking from his wrist, or is it from his phone?
I would think he would be able to. I mean, I'm getting to that part in the video now, but I would think he'd be able to talk through the phone, or I mean through the watch.
Well, I'll be.
But it's just how you're hearing. Does the Apple Watch have a speaker? I mean, that's the question. I don't think the Android Watch has, or the Apple Watch has a speaker.
Okay, so he's talking about notifications, in particular about using Uber to find out if a car is coming, or Alejandro just said that yes, it does have a microphone. I want to know if it has a speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, you would expect it to have a microphone because it's
Well,
got
I
to be
know it
able to
has a
listen for
yeah,
your Siri.
right.
Use it to get through security, huh? Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
So it'll get you through all the TSA where you take your shoes off and walk through the scanner. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to take that off to get through the metal
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
detector
thinking too. I was like, sure, sure. Yeah.
because that's security. I mean,
Right.
getting through the gate and actually boarding, that's different.
Okay, so now he's showing off the um, yeah, he's showing off the drawing feature, like being able to draw and send stuff. Yeah, I got a headache. Okay, so it's saying that you can unlock your hotel door. You can just do a whole bunch of stuff with this watch um, that I would argue could just be done from your phone. I mean, it doesn't feel like they're making a compelling case as to why use this over your phone.
Yeah, just the fact that it's on your wrist, you don't have to pull it out of your pocket.
Yeah.
That's the main advantage for this. So I mean, now it's up to more and more hotel companies to integrate, NFC
Mm-hmm.
or RFID, whichever you want to use to enter the room with this.
So they're playing Foo Fighters and they're trying an app out to
Basically a Shazam or something. Yeah, Shazam.
Shazam to find out who's doing it and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, use the built. Okay, so I just want to clarify there is a microphone and there is a speaker on the watch.
Okay.
Okay, message just came in on the guy's watch. He wants to reply, so he's going to say, so there's dictation you can use, which is the voice, or you can use, I would assume, some type of keyboard. Okay, so you can send an audio or the text when you speak into your watch.
Nice.
He can control the garage door remote from his watch. His garage door is hooked up to, I would guess, HomeKit.
Right.
Alejandro's going to buy like 10 of these things. You know that, right?
Right. He'll have one. His wife will have one, and his son.
Completely unnecessary. Probably never use it, but he'll buy like 5 of them. Um, he's not listening. He's just in the chat. So. Oh, okay. So he was also able to tap into the live feed from his camera,
Oh, I see that. Nice. That's
and he's
nice.
able to watch. He's able to see a live feed from a security camera in his garage.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do that on Android Wear.
How many cool? Yeah. How many parents are going to be like, "Oh, you want to watch? That's great. Then I can know where you are, when you were there, and for how long you were there. That's
Right.
just amazing." No, I'm not going to be surprised, Tim Cook, of all the different things that the watch is going to be able to do. I'm just not. Okay, finally. The watch is designed to be used to work with iPhone. Go to C apps, browse apps, download apps uh, from the App Store. There's the Apple Watch app. The App Store portion of the Apple Watch app, you can see, browse, and download the apps. You can view how-to videos, so you can watch the video on like how to use stuff and stuff before you actually get it. Um, and the iOS 8.2, is that a...
It's
Oh,
just the
and it's
next
available
version
today.
for
Okay.
phone and iPad.
So it's not out yet, or is it out today?
It'll be out today.
Okay. All day battery life across a range of activities. This is vague. Okay, here we go. 18 hours.
Oh, it's a little bit more than 3 or 4.
Hold on a second. Oh, jeez. Let's not get crazy.
All right. So if somebody says 18, expect 12
Right.
because you're going to want to use features and functions and stuff on this.
No, no, no. That was just normal watch mode.
I know, but you don't just use normal watch mode. You're going to use it to do things. Apple Watch Sport, 5 different color bands to choose from.
So the battery life isn't going to be good. Period. I'm sorry. It's just not. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but the science is not there on how to make this stuff.
Yeah, it's tough to do. I mean, Android Wear is finding that as well.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Johnny Ives is back.
You
Ah,
expected that.
Lord. Did I?
Oh,
No.
you had to.
Yeah.
And these are his babies. This is what he does. That's true. Alejandro does make a good point about the straps that'll have additional battery. It's kind of like a Mophie for the watch.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it could charge from that. That's interesting.
Basically, it's like throwing a Microsoft Band strap
It
with
is. Yeah, you're
batteries
right.
on the
Yeah, yeah,
sides.
yeah, it is. Talk about people complaining about how heavy it is now, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think if those look nice in like real life, those would be able to sell quite a few of those.
Yeah.
But at priced at like $250, that's pretty expensive. Pairing that with a $350 device, you're looking at $600. Ouch for a smartwatch.
Yeah, kinetic charging would be phenomenal if they could figure that out as a accessory. So they're talking about aluminum setting a new standard for a watch. Seriously.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, so presentation over. Tim Cook's coming back on the stage.
Right now, it's just a matter of when. When and for sure how much.
349 for the 38 millimeter. 399 for the 48 millimeter. A new tagline: the Apple Watch Sport, the only watch we will be able to afford. Maybe. So did I miss something, or did they say it was waterproof?
I don't recall them saying it, so I'm not positive on that. I'm sure it's going to have some kind of water resistance because it's going to be sweating.
Oh, here we go. Video.
They're all about videos today, aren't they?
Sure.
Steel.
Alloy and steel process to make it stronger. Lava.
Strength and corrosion resistance. So it's going to be able to withstand nicks and scratches better, they say.
Yeah, we were quiet there for a little bit. We're just trying to kind of take this in so that we can actually talk about it.
Yeah.
They're just really kind of gushing all over how awesome they did.
All right. So I would assume with this video, they're just showing off how they made the first one by, you know, fine etching out the ports and openings and stuff. That's not how you mass produce that stuff. 140 individual parts. Showing that metallic band, the link. But that's a nice looking strap, I'll say that.
Yeah, so it's a good looking band. Can I send that? 549. 1049. High price. Oh my God, this thing is just way out of the price range for people that we know.
Right. Mm.
Do we really see this as being a big deal here?
It will be, but man, it's going to be expensive.
Oh my God.
Do share, do share.
No, I'm waiting for your. I can't wait for you to hear what this dude just said. For real.
Solid gold.
April 10th.
Oh,
10 grand, dude. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
All right, you can pre-order Apple 10. April 10th, the Apple 10. Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Listen to me. April 10th.
Nice.
Available April 24th.
Hmm.
In many countries throughout the world. Not all the countries, but a lot of them, he says.
So April 10th is a Friday.
Austria, Canada, China, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Japan, United Kingdom, United States.
Nice. Well,
He goes, "We want the world to know the Apple Watch is coming."
yeah, I think they already knew that, Tim.
Not only that, he just said "is coming," so I'm laughing at that a little in my head. I'm sorry, I'm a 5-year-old inside,
Yet he doesn't watch Game of Thrones, folks.
apparently. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't hate on people who do, so don't take me the wrong way, Kevin. All right, demo time. They're just going to show off the watch. Well, I'm going to take this a moment.
Another video.
Look, I don't. It's one of those things where there's going to be people who buy them and then return them. I guarantee you. And Alejandro makes a good point in the chat room, and a nice link in the chat room, by the way. But the Pebble time is 7 days of battery life.
Yeah. Pebble Time Steel, I think, will get you 10.
Yeah, there's going to be, devices that are going to pop out that, are going to be much more functional for people. And I think functionality is what people want. It's got notifications. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. Yeah, so I don't know. Kevin, what do you think?
I think I would love to at least try one out for about a week, just to kind of see how things go. So, see, I think on the 10th I'm still home, so I'm getting ready to leave at that time. And talk with one of our local Apple stores, see if I can't set up a time to go take a look at one on the 9th, the day before. Oh, they're showing off Game of Thrones again. HBO now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like he's just wrapping things up, doing a quick summary of the events from today. I do say that that space gray MacBook really does look nice. I wish this MacBook Pro was a space gray edition. Now that image there showing the Apple Watch, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and then iMac, it really reminds me a lot of Microsoft and their, Windows 10 across all devices images that you see. It's times like this I still wish that Steve Jobs was around because I'd really love to know, his thoughts and what his vision, if he had a vision of this watch.
What would it be?
Oh my God, is that Al Gore in the crowd there?
I just saw Al Gore. That's what Alejandro said.
Yeah, it looked like Al Gore. Wow.
All right. It's the
Yeah,
end of the broadcast.
yeah, pretty much wraps things up. I would like to thank everybody for joining us today on this Apple Watch event. We hope it was somewhat entertaining and informative. I'm sure there's going to be replay videos for those that did not catch the video live of the actual event. And make sure to subscribe and check out Tech Informist podcast and send any content feedback. Contact us. Send those emails to contact at the Tech Informist. Find me on Twitter at Kevin Harvell, JJ Hammond. You can find him at JJ Hammond Music. So thank you for everybody for joining us in the chat room today and for watching again as we talked about the Apple Watch and new MacBook. A lot of great things. JJ, I mean, what were some of the high points that you pulled away from this?
Looking at it from just the higher view from it, I would just say this is that the devices that we saw today are in keeping with the same thing we've heard from Mobile World Congress and in keeping with what we know from what this next year is going to be. It's going to be wearables, it's going to be phone, tablet, or phablet, laptop, or something equivalent to that, like the Surface Pro 3, for example, like a hybrid, and then it's going to be a play for the TV. So with Microsoft, you've got Xbox. For Sony, you've got PlayStation. For Apple, you've got Apple TV. And I think Apple made a bold move in pushing the Apple TV to $69.99, along with the addition of HBO. What's called, it's not HBO Go, it's HBO Now.
Right.
I think that's a distinction that needs to be made there. Also, I think that that is going to be interesting to see how it plays itself out, because I think HBO is good for a lot of reasons. One, because they aren't beholden to play by the same rules everybody else does, and that allows them to talk a lot of smack on a lot of different things. So it's really interesting. Plus, they have shows, good shows, really good shows. Game of Thrones is a good show, and so is Silicon Valley. So is a lot of the other shows that we saw. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think that the watch is compelling. I think that it's awesome. I think that it represents to me what the iPhone 3G and the 3GS was, which was here is what we are going to set for the standard, so everybody else needs to come up to our level, even though they are setting aside. Kevin, you know this above anybody else. I think Alejandro does. I think all of our listeners will understand when I say this is the 3G and 3GS of the 2010s. Okay, until 2020, we're not going to see an evolution in battery life. You're going to see accessories. You're going to see, like we were talking about with the different bands that you can get for the new Apple Watch that gives it more battery life. But I think everybody needs to keep a clear head about this. When you buy this, you're going to have to leave it in watch mode. You're not going to be able to enjoy a lot of the stuff that's on this device for too long a period of time, because
Yeah.
it's just going to eat your battery. And Apple has always been that way. And in fact, in a recent interview, Johnny Ives talked about how battery life doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Um, that's what he says.
Yeah, that you wouldn't want a thicker iPhone, to give you more battery life because it would take away from the experience. But I
I'm
kind
sorry,
of,
that's ridiculous.
I think if
Yeah.
you polled, a million smartphone users, even iPhone users, just mix that in there, they
Hmm.
would say, no, we'd be willing to sacrifice just a little additional weight and a little additional thickness to get, an extra 6 hours of battery life.
Yeah, and I think and then lastly, I'll just finish up with this. The new MacBook. I think that it's just a Raspberry Pi with a bunch of batteries in there and a nice screen. I didn't see anything that was revolutionary in the fact that it's going to be able to put up with a whole lot of heavy stuff. So you could see this thing selling to college students more so than say the iPad. I think that I think that the iPad is moving into not an irrelevancy, but kind of moving back to kind of like a niche device for
Right.
like younger people, older people, or people who just want to read the news. And for people who want to type things out, like writers and all this other kind of stuff, you can see them using this type of device, and because it gets a lot of battery life because of
Oh,
the way they
it's
designed
going
it.
to be perfect for the people that are on the go. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, and
you're
I
not going to
think
be doing any
yeah.
developing or
Right.
editing or
Yeah, yeah.
anything
You're
really.
not going to be doing anything heavy on it, and even that's pretty cool. You're going to be able to watch a lot of stuff, and you're going to have the display. But like I said, the other thing is I don't think that this is going to make a lot of people happy because it has just one connection, um, just the one connection, which is a USB
See,
3,
yeah,
or yeah, it's C, and it's going to have all your power, your out and
yeah,
inputs,
your
your
display
everything.
ports and charge it.
So when you go buy this thing that's $1,200 for the lowest end model, you're going to also have to buy an adapter if you want to do any of that kind of stuff. And I don't think that reflects normal use. So it works great for people in San Francisco. It works great for people on the coast and stuff. But over the flyover states, I just don't think this thing is going to be
Yeah, I mean,
what people want
it's
to.
going to sell well, but I think some people will be like, I really wish I could do more with this and it runs slow when I try to do this, or so. We'll see. I mean, most people, they just want a device that gives them good battery life. I mean, if you're traveling, you leave your MacBook Pro in your bag and you just pull out the Air to, get all
So
your
yeah.
stuff done.
So what's your final thoughts before we conclude this here?
Just, I'll start with the MacBook. I think, the design of it is wonderful. Uh, Again, it's going to be a niche market for a certain segment of the population that's going to use something like that. Heavy users are not going to get it. With in regards to the iPad, I think this MacBook kind of, like you said, it changes the way that you think. If you're, you know, if you're on cost conscious, budget kind of stuff, you're still looking at an iPad Air with a keyboard.
Hmm.
You can always go with that combo and get a similar experience, but it's not the same sexy device as a MacBook.
Hmm.
Bumping up the Air and the Pros to the Touch Force and stuff like that. I think that's nice, and just some updated specs. That's always good. So those are available to order right now, actually. As far as the watch, well, everything is out there. We knew it was coming, and we pretty much had most of the details. So really showing off today what they did. I mean, it's kind of already knew a lot of that information, just waiting for the official release date. So it's expensive. Battery life is about what you kind of would expect, but you're not going to get the full functionality, as JJ said, by leaving all the features on it, and can expect to get a full 18 hours as they quote unquote estimate.
Right.
So we'll see. April 10th pre-orders, April 24th release. If you've got an Apple store near you, go check one out in about a month from tomorrow, to be able to go physically take a look at one in person. So that's pretty much all I've got.
Awesome. Okay.
wrap things up.
That's
Again,
it.
thank you everybody, and we will see you back again on Wednesday for episode 43 of The Tech Informist. So
Awesome.
please share us, tell people about the show. If you like it, let people know. And until next time, consider yourself informed, and we are out.